Hello everyone. This video will cover the visual analysis essay. Your topic is the movie V for Vendetta. I will be covering only an excerpt from the video. Keep in mind, if you have not read the assignment, that you read the assignment carefully, because you will be analyzing the entire movie, not just an excerpt of the movie, so keep that in mind. So this video will just basically cover the structure of the visual analysis essay, and it is similar to the textual analysis essay. Reading an image or visual is just like reading a text. Your focus will be on the various stylistic choices that the creator makes to build meaning. Now, the way that you see the text may not be the way that someone else sees an image. That doesn't make your analysis right and that person's wrong. It's just how we view the various elements the creator uses. So keep that in mind. Now, the focus of this assignment is basically these three concepts. You want to look at what it says, how it says it, and what it succeeds, why it succeeds or not. And that's what makes it a visual analysis, because you're having to take the various stylistic pieces that the creator uses and infer what they could mean and how they influence the targeted audience. So for this assignment, you'll be answering these three questions. The first question is, what is the central purpose, or what is the artist's meaning? And that will be your thesis. It will be in your introduction. So you're going to provide background information, who the director is, when it was produced. If you would like, you can introduce Thoreau, some things about Thoreau. Just the basic backgrounds, what you will provide for the introduction. But you will also provide a thesis that answers the question, what is the central purpose, or what is the meaning? Your body paragraphs will answer the question, by what means does the artist use to achieve his or her purpose? Now, in order to answer this question, you will go back and look at the various visual techniques that the artist used to convey his message. And last but not least, your conclusion will answer, why does the image succeed or not? Again, this should be based on your understanding of the various visual concepts. And remember, I have a list of them, including questions that will help you through this process. Now, when you watch the video, make sure you find a quiet place. And you want to make sure that you watch it multiple times, rewinding, going back, full times. Watching it one time will not be enough. So for the first time you watch the video, you want to watch it to understand the plot structure. The second time you watch it, you want to identify the characters, understanding their role in the movie, and look at the various cinematic techniques that the creator uses. You look at the color, the setting, all the various things that will make a movie a great movie. And as you do this, you want to make sure you take plenty of notes. Keep writing notes, rewinding, looking at it again. All that helps you when you start building the actual paper, because again, you're not writing a summary of the movie, you're actually writing a critical analysis of the movie. And as you build your notes, and as you go back and review your notes and watch the movie, ask questions, because that's a very important step to the analysis. You want to ask a number of questions. One of the biggest questions my students tend to ask is, who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist? Oftentimes they want to say V is the protagonist, but he is not. He's the, what you want to may call the antagonist, not a bad guy, but the opposing force. And EV is actually the protagonist because she's the person who experiences change. So, asking those questions will help you to understand what the author is trying to do overall. So, once you have done that, you want to write a brief summary of what you believe the movie's about. what you have gathered from watching the movie. And so this is what I provided. You know, it's going to be very brief, but it's going to help you understand or come to your thesis that you believe is the main idea. So this is my brief summary. Similar to Thoreau's resistance to civil government, V's speech provokes revolution by holding the passive accountable. And what I mean by passive, if you look at when people are just watching the television, and they're the passive ones. They're the ones who are not willing to ask those questions. Similar to Evie, just going along with it because they're too afraid to do anything. V's call for action is an act of civil disobedience. Being the symbol of civil disobedience, his speech demonstrates empathy. And this is when, in my opinion, V is more than just, he's not just one character, he's actually a symbol, and that's my interpretation of V. So when he proclaims, if you see what I see and feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, and that's what he's trying to get them to do, is to stop passively accepting what the government is giving them, but to ask questions and to demand more. And that's exactly what Thoreau was trying to do in his essay. Now, from that point, now, it's not enough for me to say this is what I believe. For your analysis, you must prove it. And so these are some of the concepts that I found interesting just in this excerpt. So juxtaposition of the characters and setting was very interesting. You notice that each setting changed. It started in what we call a nuclear household. Then we had the assisted living area setting, and then we had what we would call our seedy characters at the bar. But they all had a commonality. They all looked the same. They had this look of fear and disgust and shame even, as V was given his revolutionary speech. So I can look at each one of these concepts and explore what the director was trying to do through this setting, this juxtaposition. And also the language that V uses. One of the most important quotes that I find interesting is when he says, words will always retain their power. And it brings me back to Thoreau and what he was trying to say in his speech and in his words, and how he influenced people through his act of civil disobedience. And there is a lot of irony in the movie overall, and also in the excerpt that I noticed. So these are just some of the concepts that I could discuss that would help to convey my point about V and his actions. And so through all of this process, through watching the video multiple times, taking copious notes, asking questions, making inferences, and creating my summary, I come to my thesis that answers the overall question for this assignment. And my thesis is, and again, this is tentative, meaning that it's subject to change. It's not perfect, but it gets me started. Because V symbolizes the oppressed and downtrodden, his actions and words articulate the extreme need for justice both the characters and audience covet. And what I believe is that what the director is trying to do through V, he acts as this hero, this anti-hero that we all wish we were inside. We can relate to the character of Evie because some of us may be that passive person who just accepts the government as it is, or we could be like the detective who's been loyal and you know, blindly following, like the machine in Thoreau's essay, and we've been duped by the government. So here we have the director using V as his tool to show us how we are like the downtrodden and the oppressed, and we know that he is. And so at the end of the movie, when they all take off the mask, because we all, you know, are a part of this group of people who have been duped by the government. And so I'll, again, to support my analysis, to support my thesis, I will go back to my my points that I mentioned earlier, the juxtaposition, the setting, the characters, the irony. I will use those in my body paragraphs to support my claim. And I will use examples from the film, and I will use my secondary sources to support it as well. This is all I have for this video. I also have an outline, a detailed outline that covers more. But if you have questions, feel free to contact me. I will be happy to help. Good luck. Bye.